The moment Ethan unlocked his driveway, he froze. His brand new camper, polished, shiny, and parked perfectly just hours ago, was gone. Panic clawed at him as he spotted the bright pink Karen minivan parked suspiciously near the lake. He didn't need a sign. He knew who had taken it. Karen, the neighborhood queen of entitlement, had already posted pictures online, smiling inside his camper like it was hers. What she didn't know, what no one could ever imagine, was that the camper wasn't just a camper. It was a highly secure DEA mobile lab, specially modified for his undercover work. Ethan's heart raced, not with fear of losing property, but at the danger Karen had unknowingly walked into. Ethan's phone buzzed nonstop as neighbors started messaging him. "Is that your camper at the lake?" Karen posted it again. Images showed Karen setting up camp, putting towels on seats, and even laughing with friends. Ethan's stomach sank. The camper, a massive mobile lab, contained evidence, tech, and sensitive DEA files. One wrong button, one curious twist of a knob could trigger an alarm, or worse, compromise years of work. He knew he had to act fast, but he couldn't let Karen see him coming. Doing so could ruin his cover and potentially put her in harm's way. With a deep breath, he grabbed his keys, pulled on his jacket, and started toward the lake, mind racing through worst-case scenarios. As Ethan approached, Karen waved cheerfully. "Hey, neighbor, loving your camper, it's so cozy!" Her grin was infuriating, innocent, and oblivious all at once. Ethan forced a polite smile. "Glad you like it," he said carefully, keeping his voice calm. Inside, the camper hummed quietly, sensors monitoring every movement. Karen began fiddling with switches and dials, completely unaware that she was accessing classified DEA equipment. Ethan's pulse quickened. He had to talk her down without alarming her, or risking a trigger. "Karen, I actually need to show you something before you touch anything else," he said, stepping closer. Her eyes widened for a brief second, curiosity mixing with excitement. That hesitation was all Ethan needed to start taking control. Karen leaned closer, still smiling, but her hands hovered uncertainly over a panel. "Why? It's just a camper." Ethan's mind raced. Any sudden move could set off alarms. He chose his words like a tightrope walker balancing over a canyon. "There's equipment inside, really important equipment. If it's tampered with, it could create big problems." Karen frowned, tilting her head. "Big problems? Like what?" Ethan's chest tightened. He couldn't explain the full truth. He settled for a partial truth. "Sensitive things, legal stuff. I can't explain much, but please, just let me handle it." Karen hesitated, sensing the seriousness in his voice for the first time. The lake's calm surface reflected their tension, as if nature itself was holding its breath. Finally, Ethan motioned for Karen to step back. Slowly, he opened a hidden compartment inside the camper, revealing an array of high-tech devices. Karen gasped, stepping back in shock. What is all this?" Ethan's voice was low but firm. "It's DEA tech. This camper isn't what it looks like. It's part of an undercover operation. You were in danger without knowing it." Karen froze, her cheerful demeanor gone. Her vacation mood vanished, replaced by a stunned silence. Ethan's heart softened seeing her face, not fear of losing property, but the dawning realization of what she had stepped into. For the first time, she looked small, humbled, and vulnerable in the lake's sunlight. Ethan explained carefully, giving just enough detail for her to understand, but nothing to compromise the operation. Karen's hands shook as she stepped away from the camper, apologizing repeatedly. Ethan nodded, relieved. "It's okay. Just don't touch anything else. Promise me that." Karen nodded earnestly, her pride replaced with respect. Ethan watched her retreat to her car, the lesson sinking in. He realized entitlement could be dangerous, but ignorance could be deadly. And in a strange way, he felt a small surge of hope. Maybe Karen had finally learned humility the hard way, without tragedy. Weeks later, Ethan parked the camper back in its usual spot. The neighborhood buzzed with gossip, but he smiled quietly, knowing the real story wasn't public. Karen avoided him for a while, still embarrassed but wiser. Ethan reflected on the strange turn of events, how a careless act could have escalated into disaster, yet instead became a lesson in patience, caution, and the unpredictability of human nature. He leaned against his camper, watching the sunset, reflect on the lake, and whispered to himself, "Sometimes the most dangerous adventures aren't the ones you chase. They find you." The camper remained calm, secure, and silent, a hero in its own way.